Hi. After seeing your this comments on the video, don't give up. I realized that I did a mistake, a big mistake. I was not able to convey, what I wanted to convey. See, I have used really these three words. One is passion, and other is risk, and I think the other one is dream. I told you that you should follow your passion, and then you should take risk, and then you should have big dreams, or at least achievable dreams, right? But these are the words generally used by motivational speakers in a wrong way. And then when I saw the comments, people started saying that I'm a motivational speaker, in fact a great motivational speaker, and then they started comparing me with someone. So I don't want to name anyone in particular, but then see, I'm not a motivational speaker, and I would never like to become one. Okay, the problem with motivation is I strongly believe that external motivation doesn't work, which means no one could ever motivate you. It doesn't last long. If you need to continuously get motivation from outside, it doesn't work, right? So what I really do is, or what I want to do, or what I try to do is, I wanted to inspire. There is a difference. I'll just tell you the difference. Let's say, I'll just take examples like how I do generally do. Let's say if I say a gate is very easy, you can do it, do it. If I say like this, just this is motivating. Now what is inspiring is, if I say that gate is easy, I did it and I cracked gate 2 times in my 3rd year and 4th year, and then all my students cracked it, and even non-CS students are able to do it. Now if I say like this is called inspiring, right? Okay, I'll tell you one more thing, one more example if you didn't understand it. Maybe if you see, okay, if I say wake up at 4 a.m. Many things will get done easily. If I say that, this is again motivating. If I say that I wake up at 4 a.m. and I start working at 4 a.m. every day, and if I ask you to wake up, then this is inspiring. I hope you are getting the difference, right? So my aim is never to become a motivational speaker, or I don't want to motivate anyone. If possible, I'll inspire. Okay, so that is the main thing. And now why is it I'm saying so much is because I have seen a lot of videos these days like this. They will be like this: tum kar sakte ho, karo, like they will be like funny. I mean, the kind of I call them as animated cartoons. So they act so very animated and artificial, and it doesn't feel like it is coming from their heart. So they will say, karo, tum kar sakte ho. I don't know what they achieved, right? You can dream big, think big, do big, right? If they say all these things, I just wanted to ask them what actually they achieved, right? See, it has become actually a trend that people who are failing in engineering, they are becoming the faculty in engineering colleges, right? Not everyone. And then people who are not able to crack gate, they are becoming teachers in many institutions, right? Gate teachers, and they had never cracked or never got within 100 in most of the institutions that you can see outside. And now people who are not able to achieve anything in their lives, now they are becoming motivational speakers. It has become a trend, real trend. And I call them as cartoons, nothing more. See, now always try to have a role model or a mentor who has actually achieved something in the field, in your particular field, or in the field that you want to enter, right? So always try to have such people as a role model, right? That is what you should be aiming at. And now there is one problem with this. Great people generally who are up to that mark, like whom you could take as a role model, they are not available for us in day-to-day life, which means they will never be reachable, right? So they'll be too busy changing the world, impacting the world, that you will never be able to chat with them, talk to them directly, or email them, all these things, right? But then you could do one thing. So read the books either they have written, or read about them which someone else might have written about them, right? So by this you will get continuous inspiration, right? So you will get inspired. Now that inspiration will trigger the internal motivation, right? So you have to get inspired to get motivated, and don't get this motivation from these cartoons, right? And generally when you read a book or when you listen to a person, he should have done research on that topic. If someone is talking about happiness, right, then he should have done a PhD in that subject, psychology. If someone is talking about, let us say, technologies, he should have started a company in that, and he should have created an impact, right? Then only you spend your time reading about him or watching his videos or doing anything, right? So don't get into this motivational cartoons and biographies. So when I ask you to read books, always focus on the books which are written by people having PhDs or people having biographies. Now, for example, if you look at various people who are having actually PhDs and written books, one is Jim Collins. So Jim Collins is a PhD in MBA, and he's a professor in Stanford. All his books are awesome, excellent. And David Schwartz. So David Schwartz is having PhD in psychology, and his book, This Magic of Thinking Big, is an amazing book. And then Emma Sepla, having a PhD in psychology, and her book is Happiness Track. That is a very good book. And Clayton M Christensen. So Clayton M Christensen is again a PhD in he's a professor in management, I think, again in Stanford or MIT, I don't remember exactly, but his books are terrific. And even Steve Jobs' favorite book, Innovator's Dilemma, is written by him, right? And he has written many other books, and he has written even about life. So read about these books. Now again, Ray Kurzweil. So Ray Kurzweil is a futurist technologist, and he's just like Moore's law, his law is now popular. So he's a futurist. You can read about him. His book is Singularity is Near is there, and then 7 Steps for Transcend is one more book, right? Read about these books. Maybe if you want to read anything other than what is written by PhDs, read about the biographies of great people. There are many great people who has influenced the world. For example, if you take Steve Jobs, he has influenced the world. Maybe Sam Walton, right, that person who has created that company Walmart, right? And this Nike guy, Phil Knight, I guess, Nike guy, okay? And then I could remember a few other names like Amazon. Jeff Bezos, that everything store is there. And then Delivering Happiness by this person. Delivering Happiness is, I think, and then Jack Ma is there. So I'm not very good with names, but I'll try to tell you whatever I remember in some other video. I'll list down all the good books. And then about Elon Musk, I forgot him, right? So Elon Musk is my role model. And also Nelson Mandela, Swami Vivekananda. So you can go on like this. So there are a lot of books which you could actually read. Now get the inspiration from these people, not from the motivational speakers, right? So what is wrong with the motivational speakers in India, especially in India, I observed this trend. Now in one of the videos, a very popular speaker saying this: leave your job, leave your degree, follow your dream, follow your passion. That is actually dangerous advice that anyone could give. So what's wrong in that? Okay, first thing you should understand, even I too say some words like this, like follow your passion, have a dream, and all this. Now when I say all this, you should also understand about the word called risk. Now you should understand what is risk and what is not risk. Then you can know. I never suggest you to take any risk, right? See, leaving your job to start your own company without having any financial background or financial backup, that is risk. But leaving your job in order to prepare for GATE, maybe for a few months, and again getting back to the old job or into the master's, that is not risk, right? If you can understand the difference, that is okay, right? Now if you leave your job, even these movies like 3 Idiots, they have inspired people to leave their BTech and then maybe follow their passion, like some wildlife photography or all this. But then you have to have you should understand that there are certain brutal facts of reality. At the end of the day, you need to pay your bills. Others are not going to pay, right? So I'll come to that point. And the second thing is, see, if you don't have the discipline to finish your degree, then how could you start a company and then run it and make it successful? when you don't have the discipline to finish your 4 years of degree, right? See, leaving your degree in PhDs or masters, that is okay, maybe if you found an idea and if you're passionate about it. So many people argue with me saying that I can show you a lot of people who are successful and who are college dropouts, who are backbenchers, who are not good students, but then I'll show you millions of examples who have great degrees and who have started great companies and who are great learners and all this. So whatever examples you have shown are just few, but then you don't know about the people who have left their jobs, started something on their own and failed miserably, and they were never able to get back to a degree, and then they suffered throughout their life. So you have, because you don't know about them because they never become successful, right? Now only things you know about is Mark Zuckerberg, or maybe that Google founders, maybe Microsoft, that Bill Gates. So these people are just few examples, handful of examples, but what you don't see is there are millions of people who left their formal education because they wanted to start their own businesses and then they failed. Now these motivational speakers are encouraging the people to do that, right? I did it, मैंने degree छोड़ दिया मेरे passion के लिए, तुम भी आओ, right? So that is the worst thing that they could do, right? Don't follow such cartoons. I'm not talking about anyone in particular. Everyone is like this in India, right? If you don't achieve anything, well, you can become a motivational speaker and earn money. See, and please don't compare me with such people. My intention is never to become a motivational speaker, and what I do is I teach computer science, and that is how I get my money and then I pay my bills. So I'm happy with that. I don't want to become a motivational speaker and don't get these words wrong. Everyone is using these words: dream, passion, heart, follow your passion. These are really wrong advices to give, right? First get a degree, get a formal education, and then have a proper planning and then do it, right? So why is degree important these days is, I'll just tell you a small example. Recently I met a person, I don't want to mention his name, and he has invested I think 2.5 crores in building a business which I know he's already done by a technology company through an app. So he's trying to build a business manually, which is going to be disrupted once this app comes out, right? And now what he's doing is he's just starting a battle which he is going to definitely lose. Now I tried to explain him about the technology, but then he was a dropout and he didn't understand anything, and moreover he has invested everything that his parents have got into it, and he's going to lose it. Of course, that I can easily tell you that he's going to lose it, right? Now that is where college education at least will be helpful. You'll be able to understand technologies, right? You can think of degree like this. It is like a safety net before you start flying. So if you are flying, let us say if you fall down, then the degree will be like a safety net, which will be helpful for you to survive, right? Even if you are not able to fail. Now the technologies are changing so fast that the existing industries are getting disrupted. The existing big industries are getting disrupted. Maybe in some other talk I'll tell you about what is happening in the technological world and what is going to happen to the existing industries, but I could tell you few things. The existing industries are going to be completely disrupted, and the technology is using technologies. People are building the billion dollar companies in just few months, which used to take nearly 20 to 30 years earlier. If you look at the company that Walmart has started in I think 1960s or so, right? 1960s, yeah, 1960s, and for it to reach I think $1 billion mark, it took 40 years or 30 to 40 years. But now companies are able to achieve it very simply. For example, take WhatsApp, right? So it is able to become a $1 billion company I think in no time, and the average time required by a company today in order to become a $1 billion company is 18 months, it seems. Research is saying that 18 months. Okay, and now so you might feel that, okay, let me leave the degree, let me work for 18 months and become a entrepreneur, right? So again, one in a million companies actually survive. Becoming $1 billion company is secondary thing. 1 in a million actually is surviving. Okay, I don't know exactly the number. I'll give you the number in some other talk. Okay, I'll just go through it and I'll give you. And the average lifetime of any company these days is just 5 years. In 5 years, whatever company you have built is going to be gone, right? It is going to be completely disrupted by different technology. So we are going to talk about this in a completely different other talk, but here my intention is to say that when you have all these things changing so fast, education is really important, right? So please don't follow these motivational speakers. Okay, always have a margin of safety. So what is margin of safety? I mean to say is, see, if you take my case, see, whatever I'm saying, I'm either saying because of the books that I read or from my personal experience. I could tell you a small experience that I had, the very bad experience. After my masters, after my MTech, I immediately started a coaching center. I got a job, I got placed, and everything was settled. I could have helped my family, but then I did a reckless thing. So I started a coaching center in my hometown, and then I had no financial backup. So because of that step, because of that 1 year I had run that coaching center, because of the passion that I had and the heart that I followed, without having this margin of safety, we lost everything. My family, my dad was already in losses. We had only one small land, one small plot, and we had to sell it, and I almost brought my family to the road. And again I had to get back to Bangalore and again take up a job and again work in institutes for part-time in order to recover from the losses that actually I created during that year. So this is what is called recklessness. You never do that. Okay, so whenever someone says that to follow your heart, don't just blindly jump into it. Okay, just have a margin of safety. Always try to ask the question, what if this goes wrong? Right? Do you have a backup? Let us say you want to quit your job today and start preparing. What if your dad is not able to support you financially from next month? Do you have a backup? Did you save enough money, or can you survive till February, so that if you don't get a good rank, or after gate you can get a job? So did you see all this? So always try to have a margin of safety. Don't jump into it blindly, and then understand the brutal facts of reality. So brutal facts of reality means everyone, see, there are many people who say that even though we don't have money, we could have respect in the society. That doesn't happen, right? If you are actually borrowing money from everyone in your society, they don't really respect you, right? Even your friends, how many times can you borrow money from them? So let us say you have to pay your rents, and if you are continuously borrowing from your friend, then he will also stop talking to you, right? So I can tell you one thing, 99% of the problems in the world can be solved if you have money, and for the remaining 1% you need not have money to solve it, right? So I'm not talking about millions or billions. At least you should be able to survive on your own. See, once you are financially free, and if you are able to stand on your own feet, then you go and do the other feats, right? So if you are actually financially depending on your parents, and if you want to start a company right away, that is really a bad thing. Okay, don't do that. First get a degree, then you can play all these things, right? So never follow people who have just the communication skills. These cartoons I am saying, see, I might not have good communication skills, or I might not have the vocabulary, but then whatever I speak, I generally speak from my experience or speak from the books that I have read, right? Now these cartoons, if you see them, these motivational cartoons, these people will be saying anything that comes to their mind without understanding about the consequences that that they are having, which means these days democratization, right? So because of the YouTube or the Facebook or many other things, everyone is getting a power to speak, right? And now when people are listening to a person who has good communication skills, he's influencing the students' brains so much that he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, so don't follow these cartoons. They just have the knowledge, and be very, very careful when you choose the mentors and role models, right? They should either be experienced, or they should have PhDs, or they should have created something huge which has really impacted the world. look at people like that. For example, take Elon Musk. So Elon Musk is my hero, my role model, right? And Sachin Tendulkar. So think about people like them, and not these cartoons. And last thing, I have also read some comments about this. I am depressed or I have anxiety. What can I do? Can you help it? Can you help me? So for these problems, these are really big problems. No motivational speaker could ever treat your depression. Even this also has started. People, motivational speakers, they also started saying that I could cure your depression or suicidal tendencies. You watch my video or attend my seminar. That doesn't happen. It is a problem, it is a disease. You please consult a doctor, and maybe once you consult a psychiatrist, he will ask you to use some medication for temporarily, and then gradually he will put you to a psychologist who will be telling you some exercises like breathing exercises, yoga, all these things. So you please do that, okay? So don't follow these cartoons. That is what I wanted to say. In the previous video, these words that I have used, I later found out that, I later realized that I shouldn't have used this. So my intention was never to tell you that to leave your job or leave your degree and then follow your heart or passion recklessly. Always have margin of safety, and always remember there are brutal facts of reality. Okay, fine, thank you.